Woo! Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Hashtag live if you're watching live, hashtag replay if you're on replay. So, today I wanted to deliver this presentation, this training to you guys about being able to detach from the outcome because what I have found of what causes us as humans a lot of suffering, pain, anxiety, anguish is wanting something, right? It's like, when we start working out, we want to see this physical transformation in ourselves. We want this outcome. When we start dating someone, we want this outcome at the end of this date to be X, Y, and Z. There's like an expectation that we put on things. And when those expectations don't quite meet the mark that we want, what ends up happening? Well, we get sad, or we get mad, we get angry, we get disappointed, we beat ourselves up, etc., and it's really about the being present in the moment of things without expectation and without really focusing on that outcome, because the outcome is irrelevant. It doesn't matter. And at the end of the day, you've got no control always over what the outcome is going to be anyway. So if you can learn to detach yourself from that outcome, you can enjoy life more, and you can actually do more in life. So let's talk a little bit about how this actually works. So I would consider myself a high performer. I always have goals that I want to meet, and what I've noticed about myself is when I don't meet them and I don't attain them, I get very disappointed. And when I do attain them, it's like I gotta push more. I gotta push more. I gotta push the envelope more, and I get addicted to the outcome because it's like a make or break, sink or swim type of scenario. And in all reality, most situations, if not all situations, are not like this. It's not like if you don't, lose 50 pounds and you only lose 30 pounds, that your life is broken, right? It's like we put so much stock in the outcome that we forget to enjoy the actual journey and what physical attributes, what emotional characteristics, what uh, visually and mentally and emotionally, what we gain from actually attempting to do anything. And we end up becoming addicted to it, and it's like we have to have this outcome, we have to meet this result. It's no different than a professional athlete who, Tom Brady, he's addicted to success. He's won 7 Super Bowls, of course he is. So you know but how do you detach yourself from that result if that isn't the result that you get? And that's what we're here to talk to you guys about today. And you always hear this trite statement of go chase your dreams, right? It's like, well, how can we get our dreams to chase us? Oftentimes you'll hear people say, well, you're so lucky, right? You'll hear that phrase in relation to someone that's successful. It's like, well, you're so lucky. Well, are they really lucky, or did opportunity meet, with a slight bit of luck? Did those things conform together to create this result, right? Well, in order to have your dreams, whatever that may be, you have to be in full alignment with yourself. Well, alignment meaning you actually know what it is that you truly want, and you're going to do whatever it takes to get it. So, and even more so than that, that's kind of the lower tier of alignment. Just alignment, just knowing yourself, knowing who you are, being in alignment with all of the things that interact with yourself and the goals that you are wanting to attain. And when that happens, the dreams actually chase you, right? It's beautiful when you manifest things. It's like, I know that these things are possible and I'm going to put the work in. And I'm going to align myself in a specific way that's going to attain this. And it may not happen today, it may not happen tomorrow, but it will happen eventually, because at the end of the day, we got no control over anything. You know, it may happen, it may not, right? But if you put yourself in the alignment of, that luck, right? Uh, Things will happen. So there's really seven keys to detachment, and I'm going to talk about some of them here today. It's really about being that master of awareness, mastering the practice of awareness and mastering the practice of your thoughts. And I've talked about this before and how important this is. This is a really big key component to the coaching programs that we have, and how I coach people is being aware of their thoughts. I've talked about this before. We have so many thoughts per day. I think it's like 50,000 or 70,000 thoughts per day, and 80 to 90% of those are negative, right? And most of those happen unconsciously. So being able to be more self aware of the thoughts that we're having, to be able to detach from those thoughts, knowing that those thoughts aren't us, right? They're just thoughts, that we can change those thoughts, really is a key to being able to detach yourself from this result. We're taught so much that we've got to push, we got to push, we got to make a certain amount of money, we've got to look a certain way, we've got to dress a certain way, we've got to, marry the certain person, we got to do all these things. It's like we're so result driven, so outcome driven, that we've really forgotten that a lot of these things we have no control over. But if we took a step back and detached ourselves from whatever that is, and just looked at it for what it is, and enjoy the ride, enjoy the journey, have fun with it, how much more happy would we be? We'd be really happy, right? But because we're so stressed about this result, so stressed about this, and so stressed about that, we become so depressed and anxiety ridden and unhappy that life just doesn't seem fulfilled anymore. Being able to be the observer of your thoughts, which kind of plays into that first practice of awareness and thoughts, is really be able to observe those thoughts and be able to see and decipher these thoughts for yourself. And almost like you can like have this out of body experience to observe yourself as you think of these things, right? It's like, people who are constantly telling themselves that, oh, well, I'm not good enough. This is the reason why this result did not happen, is because I'm not good enough. Well, is that really true? And if you can realistically say yes to that, do you have proof? And so oftentimes the answer to those questions are no, we don't have proof, and it's really not that true. um, Being able to observe your reaction to certain thoughts, this is crucial, really crucial, because when you have a certain thought, it's going to cause a reaction. So if I think that, no, I'm not good enough to lose weight, or I'm not going to lose weight, what's the result going to be? I'm not going to lose weight, right? Or if it's even deeper than that, it's like, well, I'm not good enough. I've not been good enough in anything in my life, so I'm definitely not going to be good enough at losing weight. You're going to like tiptoe into this process, and you may even sabotage yourself, because this is the way that you think. So your body language is going to change, your physiology is going to change. So these are the ways that we can kind of combat this whole outcome driven mindset that a lot of us are in, that we become addicted to, that really causes us a ton of anxiety and a ton of depression. So stop making things mean something. Not every damn thing that happens in life means anything. Okay. We try to like have meaning and rationale with everything. It's like it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you can squat 200 pounds 10 times or 12 times or 15 times. Who gives a shit, right? It doesn't matter if you, ate 100 more calories than you supposedly put in your brain that you should have ate, or you know what, that you had pizza yesterday. Stop giving meaning to things that don't mean anything. And, recognize the thoughts that aren't serving you. Whatever thoughts that those are that come across your dashboard of you picking yourself apart or telling yourself that you're not good or any of these things, start recognizing these thoughts that aren't serving of you and realizing that you're giving life and merit to something that just doesn't matter or it may not matter, you know? So it's really up to you. You are the one that give meaning to something. So if you say this doesn't mean anything, then you know what? It doesn't mean anything. But if you give life to it and you give merit to it, and you put stock into it, then you're breathing life into something that isn't serving you. That at the end of the day, you're making mean more than what it actually does. And I go back to this whole step process here is like you use an example of, well, I'm not good enough. Well, is it true? Um, and do you have proof? Okay. And then taking it a step further is who are you without this thought? So if you completely took that thought of I'm not good enough out, who would you be? Well, I guarantee you'd have more confidence. I guarantee you would have less anxiety. I guarantee you wouldn't have this constant numbing thought that's just like constantly on your shoulder all the time. And life would be a lot easier for you if you didn't have that thought. So guess what? Choose to not have that thought. Easier said than done, but you got to work at it. It's just like working a muscle. You got to work at it. Um, having the outcome as a condition of your happiness. It's like, I will be happy when X. I will be happy when I lose weight. I will be happy when I have changed a different dress size. I've dropped two dress sizes. I'll be happy when that happens. I'll be happy when I find a partner. I'll be happy when I can bench press 400 pounds. You can choose to be happy now, right? Like right this second, today, right as I'm talking, right as you're listening to me. You can make that choice to be happy. Your outcomes are not a condition of your happiness. And your struggle and and us, I'll put myself into this because I'm not immune to this at all either. It, our happiness is not a condition of what we do. Our happiness are a condition of who we are and who we want to be and who we think we are, right? We can just choose to be happy now without any conditions whatsoever. Happiness is unconditional and it's not dependent upon what you do in life. It's dependent upon who you are in life. It's a big difference, right? So when we can detach ourselves from the outcome and realize that our happiness is not dependent upon what we do for a living, or who we're married to, or who what school we go to, or how much we weigh, or any of these things, that we can be happy now. Life is instantaneously, exponentially better. And we have to make that choice. And sometimes people do, and sometimes people don't. But look at it from this standpoint of realizing why you're not as happy as you could be is really because you're always looking to the future on these outcomes that you're trying to do. I use that word trying, I hate it, but we'll just use it here for lack of a better word, that you're trying to get towards that. Oh, that's like the light at the end of the tunnel. It's like this happiness, but it's not. Happiness is within you. It's in you. It's not conditioned upon anything other than you. You're the only condition, and you make your mind up to be it. And when you don't, you're not. And that's the crucial big thing here. And then the last part of this is an outcome cannot define you. You are not your failures. You're not your traumas. You are not what has happened to you. Okay. I, people who have had the worst things in their life in the world happen to them. That is not them. It's something that happened to them, but it doesn't define them. It doesn't predict future outcomes. It doesn't predict future happiness, only if they allow it. You are not the money in your bank account. You could have a cent or $1 billion. Either one of those people can choose to be happy or not. You are who the fuck you are. And that's it. You make that choice, right, wrong, or indifferent. You know, I go back to this and I'm so proud of this book because it really has changed my life, this line of thinking. It's like, I'm given this life. I was given this by the universe. Okay. Pick your creator, doesn't matter. Okay. We just define it as a universe. I was given this opportunity to live this life in this time period that is undetermined. It's my duty to do what I want to do that makes me happy, to live this life. And if I can make other people happy, great. Okay. If I can coach people to be more happy, awesome. If I can lead them in a way that makes them more happy, my life is fulfilled. But only my happiness is a condition of me. And I'm only given X amount of time to be on this earth. I've got to do the best at which I can do. And that's all. And there's only one go around. Only one. Okay. You're given this meat suit that you're in right now one time only at this period of time. Make the most of it what you can. Worrying about what's in your bank account, worrying about what car you drive, worrying about how much you weigh. If you don't like it, change it. But don't dictate your self-esteem based on the outcome. Base it upon your definition of you, and that's it. And be nice to yourself. Hashtag value and found value in this video. Buff Gandhi. This is the definition of what coaching is about. It's so much deeper and so much more important than just fitness. Fitness is the vehicle that gets us to the point of where we want to go. It is something that we use. It's a tangible, transformational process, but it's not only it. It's all here. Again, hashtag value if you found value in this video. Buff Gandhi. Woo!